Hello everybody and welcome back to Games Over Explained. As you may have noticed, we are playing Kingdoms and Castles today. So the first thing we need to do is we need to build a keep. And we can come out of the Castle tab and grab the keep. And that is where we're going to get started. So let's see if we can find a decent place for this. I kind of like the idea of setting it inland a bit. Let's see, are these fertile? And this is barren. Okay, so what we should do is we should actually put... Let's see, R to rotate? Yeah, okay. So we should put our castle here on this barren land since it's not going to be otherwise usable. And that's just my thought anyway. That way we can try and maximize some of this agricultural space in the future. Next thing we need to do is build some roads. So let's go ahead and get our roads in, at least a starting place here. And I do think it's probably a good idea because we're going to go for stone production pretty quick to go ahead and drag this road out. We are going to have to trim these trees back as well. I've lost my road. Insufficient resources. Oh, okay. Well, good news. They'll be able to build out to the trees here. Let's see. Let's go ahead and start collecting wood because we're going to need that. Use the chop tool in the lower right. So let's grab here and let's designate some of these to get cut back. That way we can go ahead and have our wood. I do want to pull this back because I think we can build unusable stone. That wasn't exactly what I expected. Let's see. Okay, I think that's the usable stone. Yes, okay. Whoops. Well, that's all right. We'll navigate that. We can still use this area for forestry and kind of expand out from here. I'm really not too terribly troubled by it. So the next thing we need to do is as they're collecting stone, we need to go ahead and start building houses. That way we have a place for our fine folks to live. Let's go ahead and drop in 3 here along this barren earth. That way we don't waste any agricultural land, as we talked about earlier. And then we also need to probably get some farms going. Since these are available for us to use here, this land that is, we're going to go ahead and drop these farms in. That way they have the ability to kind of just run in and start doing their thing. Let's go ahead and bump this up to 2 on the speed. We are going to need to sort out our issue here that I've created since we built our road the wrong way. But let's let them get some of these projects done, I guess, to get caught up. All right, so I did have them cut some more trees down. There's still some wood laying out that they're going to go ahead and grab, but that's all right. We can go ahead and grab our road here. And I'd like to start building out towards the stone over here. We're going to just kind of build a very squared looking road, and hopefully that should do it. Let's just leave it for now. Let's look at our industry. Quarry, perfect. This is exactly what we needed. Must be adjacent to usable stone. So let's go ahead and drop that there, and then we'll come back into our roads and just build this into the quarry. That way they have access from the keep. All right, and the quarry is done, and we've also gone ahead and built out our road here so that it is all connected up and good to go. So our next thing, let's see, only 2 found a satisfactory home and decided to stay. Okay, so let's take a look at our housing. So these all house up to 5 residents, and it looks like we are maxed out. So let's drop in some more hovels. That way they have a place to live. Should we have any visitors? And we probably need to try and build a granary at some point. But it looks like we're just going to need to produce some stone before we can actually do that. So we'll let them continue to do that. And we've got our new hovels up, and it looks like, yep, nobody's here yet. So one thing I do know we need to build also is a well, which is going to cost us stone. So we're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place right now. We don't have a lot of resources. We could build a bridge. I don't think we really need a bridge right now. Yeah, we're kind of stuck waiting for some more activity. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and pop over to our advisory panel and see what the advisors have to say. So our agricultural advisor says, "Sire, our peasants worry about food for the winter. We must do something about food supply. Yes, I would also like to build a granary." The city advisor says that people are doing mostly fine, but could be doing better. So try examining a house to see how our peasants' conditions, or how we can improve it, I guess. And then the military advisor just said, good day, sir. So I suppose we are going to have to take a look at our... Okay, so look, it actually shows you exactly what they want. They want access to drinkable water. They want charcoal. They're happy that they have road access, and they're happy they have neighbors. So let's see. Can we build a well yet? Would that qualify as drinkable water? It does. Okay. So we have the stone for the well. Now we just need to get the lumber. And the easiest way to do that would be to pull back some of this forest here, and then we'll grab these guys over here since they're just kind of outliers and hanging out by themselves. That should get us the wood we need for our well. Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and drop the well in. Let's just put it here. That seems like good as place as any. I know our farms are over here, but we can always kind of rearrange as we go and see, what we want it to look like. Oh, Worthington is now a small village. We're starting to get the hang of this governing thing. Awesome. So let's take a look. Not in Castle. I wanted to look back at the town. So it looks like we do have the ability to put a town square in and a tavern. Let's go ahead and slow it down just a little bit. And then we can also go ahead and build our granary, which I would like to go ahead and get done. We are going to move the granary. Let's see. Where's the front entrance? It's off to this side. Yeah, all right. Let's go ahead and put that there next to the castle. Ooh, actually, hang on a second. I take that back. I think that's going to be too close to the castle. So what I would rather do is maybe put it over here next to the well. And that way we can section off. Yeah, let's do that. Let's put it on this side of the well. And that should be facing the correct direction. And this will just be kind of our main drag. Eventually, I think we'll probably build some more roads in, but we'll tackle that here in just a little bit. So let's see, happiness-wise, they do have access to water, which is great. However, they do want more access to charcoal, which we don't know how to do yet. Let's take a look here. Produce storage, well, that's for orchards, which we could go ahead and build. Let's see. Wow, they take up a lot of space. Let's run a road here off the farm, because we know that these... Ooh, I did not want to do that. These 3 spaces are fertile, so I think building the road out this way makes sense, and then we'll have the well there, and then we can build more granaries over here should we need them. And then probably not a bad idea to maybe take down... No, they've got lots of wood over here. I'm not worried about that right now. So let's take a look at the town square, because that feels like something we'd probably want to put in pretty early. And maybe our residences will spread out this way. I want to have some semblance of, feel to the facility where it actually looks like everything has a purpose. However, we are still just figuring it out, so I'm not going to obsess over it. So let's put the town square here. And that up our food storage by quite a bit, which is fantastic. We are going to want to continue to expand this road out so we can start doing more agricultural things. And while we're thinking about, let's go ahead and grab our farms and drop in 3 more. Now, I know that there's a limit to how many workers we have, and we have 2 idle workers, so we actually won't be able to run all of those farms at the same time. Let's see, do we need to add housing? We do. Okay. So let's slow this down. This is moving quick. Let's go ahead and grab some of these trees over here. I think at some point we are going to get a forester, and then we'll be able to plant and consume the trees. But at this time, it doesn't look like we have much option. So let's see. Peasants are starving. Well, we're working on food. let's see. Let's investigate the food situation. So this is 6 food per year. Chances of flooding 0. Yeah, I think we probably just needed to build more of the farms. That way they can get to building or get to producing more food. I would like to do a windmill as well, but that's going to require gold, which requires us to build a treasure room, which I think it's probably a worthy investment. It will allow us to do taxes, which I think are probably really a good thing for the realm. So let's grab this treasure room, and I'm gonna drop it. Let's put it like turn it. Is that the entrance, I assume? Yeah, let's go ahead and drop it there. And that should add on to our keep, and then we'll be able to start doing taxation. Food stores are running a little low. Perhaps some farms would help. Well, we have some farms. We do need to increase our population again, so let's drop in a new house. And then we have these farms going here. And then once they're done with the treasure room, we can go ahead and start working on the windmill. And I think that's going to be a good next bet. So stockpiles are interesting because we can store... Oh, the forester. We should get that done. We are able to store materials. And I think there's a cap on how much we can store in the castle itself. Yeah, I'm not sure how we can look at that. But, that's okay. We'll sort that out here in just a little bit. Let's focus on getting the windmill in, and then we might want to go for a couple of orchards just to kind of backfill a little bit. So let's go ahead and, I don't know how big the windmill's going to be. And I don't think it tells me the size. No, everything's not 1 square because the granary was 2 by 1. Well, might just be waiting then. All right, and the treasure room is done. So we can, in theory, put taxes on people, but I'm not actually sure how we do that. So let's poke around a little bit and see if we can figure out how to tax people. Oh, the tax rate is right here. So we can increase the tax rate. Let's just do 5% to start. I feel like we're not providing enough services to people for us to tax more than what we're currently taxing. So I think we're good with what we've got. I'm going to go ahead and say let's drop in an orchard here. I am going to leave 2 spaces like that, and then we'll go ahead and get the road built in. And that way we have the space to be able to fill out with windmills if we can. As soon as we're able to build a windmill, I'd really like to go ahead and do so. I also want to get our forester. Looks like we're out of wood again, or don't have enough wood, so we can go ahead and issue the command to start stripping some of this back. Still trying to get used to, what the markers are, but I guess when these giant axes appear, ooh, that's a little too close. When these giant axes appear, that means that they've been labeled for cutting. Wow, there's a lot of fish over here. Maybe we ought to set up a fishing industry at some point. Is that an option? I feel like I saw it earlier. Where was it? Bankstown food, fishmonger. All right. And it does require some money. We'll just have to keep working. Not enough tax collectors. Make sure treasure rooms are fully staffed. Well, they have 5 workers, so I think that's probably good. It looks like we're anticipating 7 gold from taxes, which is pretty good, I guess. I don't have a concept yet of what our tax situation should look like, so I guess that's fine. We'll go ahead and grab one of these produce storage places as well, since we have an orchard now, and then we'll just drop it and tuck it in here next to the granary. Yeah, so we're really low on resources now, and certainly not going to be able to do the windmill soon. The windmill increases the productivity of farms, which is intriguing to me. I think that it's a good idea to increase our productivity as far as food generation goes, but it's starting to look like maybe that's not going to happen anytime soon. So maybe we should focus on creating alternative methods of producing food with things like the fishing hut. I'm going to increase our tax rate because I think that might help us produce a little more revenue. And here comes all the food from the farm. Maybe we'll drop in a couple more farms too. Let's see. Do we have the resources to do that? We do. And this should get us squared away on that front. Hopefully, we'll generate some more food. Let's see. How many people do we have? 30? Oh, there's job priority. Interesting. So it looks like I can force people out of jobs. Look, they've come out of the tax collectors. Interesting. Okay. There are no idle workers. Workers will quit low priority jobs. Oh, I see. Okay, well, then this is probably the highest. Outside of producing food and new buildings, I think probably collecting taxes is extremely important. We probably also want to bump up our granary above the stockpile workers, and that should take care of that. We don't have any event planners. I think we need to go ahead and just expand out our residential capabilities because it looks like we really don't have a lot of option in terms of housing. So let's go ahead and take our square up and around like so, and then I should be able to build a road out like that. And then I want to leave this open because this is a mine, or will be a mine at some point. And we need more wood again. We need to get the forester going. Let's focus on that next, because we are going to run out of wood before long. So hopefully they'll get this taken care of, and then we'll be able to build some more housing here up against the back end of this rock, which has iron. And then we'll be able to build our iron mine there and just kind of expand out our housing this direction, and then probably put the fishmonger out here somewhere at some point. Yeah, that sounds like it'll work, probably. I'm a little out of my element here, you know, just not playing this game before. It's kind of a little different than some of the other things I've played recently. Namely, obviously, going medieval. So let's see how they get along with the wood chopping, and we'll circle back on some of the things we just talked about. Okay, so as you can see, they're actually chopping this down finally. What I did is I went into job priority. I realized that they didn't have any timber workers, which means that nobody was cutting anything. So I dropped granary workers down one and had them start chopping wood. That's just going to be a temporary thing. I do want people working in the granary. I don't know what benefit it has, but we do need a good surplus of wood right now. So I think that this is probably the right move. And that way we can get our wood generation up and build more housing for residents. That way we can have future residents continue to grow our tax base and go on from there. I want to make sure this is facing the right direction because it drives me nuts when things aren't. That should take care of those. And then I think it's probably worth going ahead and building our forester. Yeah. And I think that it's probably a good idea simply because we need more wood in a consistent way. And so I think ideally if we're going to do this and immediately run out of wood again. But I want to build this back into the woods like so, and then we should be able to grab our forester, turn him around so that it's facing us, and drop it out here. And that should give us a little bit of forestry, so at least we'll have, I think the town square is a little off, but at least it's facing the keep, I guess. Yeah, it'll give us more wood consistently, which I think is going to be important in the long run, especially now that we have lots of housing. As we attract new people, we should be able to get that rolling a little better. We also do have enough finally for the windmill. So I am going to... Oh, we have a fire. Oh, they immediately put it out because we have our well centrally located. Okay. So our windmill seems to only affect the farms that it's directly next to. So I think what we probably should do is get rid of one of these farms and put it in the center. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and close this farm. I know the food's kind of growing, but it was also one of the ones that was a little behind. And so we're going to do this and then put our windmill like that. And that should take care of it. That's barren, that's fertile, so we can add more farms here if need be. Let's check in at the keep and see what the advisors have to say. So it looks like they worry about food for winter. Yeah, I do too. We're working on it. We've got a fair amount. Not a ton, but a fair amount. Let's make life better. Okay. And then the military advisor says, "Good day, sire." Okay, well, yeah, I think our next thing is we're gonna build better housing, but right now I'm not feeling super compelled to build new housing because I think they've got plenty. Our well that we built is still servicing the area, which is good. It's not going to be servicing the forestry hut, but I think that's going to be okay. Let's take a look at our job priority real quick and make sure everything looks squared. We don't have any building going on, so people are working all the jobs that they need to be working, which is very awesome. So let's take a look, since we have a moment to breathe, and see what more we can do here. So it looks like we could build a market, carry extra food and charcoal to the market to create easy access for heads of household. Interesting. So I do know that they want to do charcoal. That was one of the requirements, or one of the things that everybody wanted, right? Yeah. So maybe we ought to go ahead and build the charcoal maker. That seems like it would make sense. And reasonably, you would expect the charcoal maker to be kind of on the edge of town, since they're going to be producing noxious gases, or I guess just lots of smoke. So we'll move them a little outside of town. That way it's not right on top of the housing. Yep. And that should get us going on charcoal production, which should start satisfying the access to charcoal requirement that these guys are wanting. So let's take another look. We can go ahead and do our iron mine. I think that's going to be a big boon for us. Is there any drawbacks to this? Build near iron ore deposit. Nope. So we're just going to drop it here. I do probably need to build some more stockpile type uses. So we may do those here next to the castle, because I want to leave this space open for our castle to expand. Speaking of, what options do we have here? Interesting. We can add an archer tower. Castle block. Build and stack to form walls and towers. Interesting. Let's go ahead and put an archer tower in. I think that's a good idea. That seems, let's see, can I put it here? Is that no. So it has to be built on top of the walls. So let's do a castle block on this side of the castle and see what it will do. We'll bring it up next to the other one that we had and see how this looks. And then we should be able to put an archer tower on top of it, which I think is a good idea, because there are raids and some other I guess dangers in the area that we could potentially run into. So I want to make sure that we actually have some defensive capabilities. That way we're not caught with no real plan on defending people. So let's drop our archer tower up there, and that should allow them to protect. Some foresters have so much wood. We need more stockpiles. Okay, so let's actually put our stockpiles over here. Empty cave can be removed with rock removal. Let's do that. Let's see. Rebuild, demolish. I don't know how to do rock removal. Is that something, is that like an item, like an industry? Yes. And it requires 10 something. What are these? Blacksmith tools. Okay, so we're not going to be able to do much there, but we can go ahead and build stockpiles. I think those were under industry. Yeah. So how big is the big stockpile? Pretty sizable. But it looks like we could tuck it here against this rock. So let's do that. And the stockpile will give us a lot of space to be able to store all the wood that we're generating from our foresters. Well, it looks like we are officially full again. Let's see, 5 out of 5. Yep. All right, so let's build some more houses, but this time I want to step it up and do maybe a cottage. And the cottage should just be larger and fancier, which the peasants will like more. So let's actually see if we can fit our tavern in here. What's the area of effect? Quite large. Maybe we'll put that across from the town square like that. Yeah, let's do that. And then we'll go ahead and grab our cottage, which we no longer have enough rock for because we've pulled everybody off to do some construction. But hopefully once we have the ability to, or once we have this building done, we'll be able to actually build out the cottages and provide some better housing for everybody. Okay, and the tavern is done, so let's go ahead and, oh, we're still not going to be able to get the cottage. Let's take a look at our job priorities real quick and see how everything's looking. And it looks like, wow, quarry has really fallen to the bottom of the barrel here. So let's bump it up above miners, because I don't think we have any real, well, we have iron mining, but iron mining can kind of wait because we don't desperately need iron. I'm not even sure really what we're going to use it for. I assume that we'll be able to do blacksmithing at some point, and that'll be a requirement for our iron. But there's not really any use for it immediately. So I think that's a worthy sacrifice just to be able to get us more materials to be able to build our cottage. Hopefully they'll get that done soon. Let's see. Not fully staffed. Yes, I am aware of that. And we are trying to remedy it. Let's look at our other priorities here. Farmers and orchardists are high, which is good. We definitely want tax collection happening. Our timber workers are good. We do want that. Is there a way to split? I don't think there's a way to split these. So like I can't tell them, oh, only 2 of you work or something like that. Let's look. Yeah, it looks like it's just open or closed. Okay, well that's more simple, I guess, and you know, that could create just some more management for me down the line. We do have 10 stockpile workers and 4 bartenders, which seems like a lot of people. I guess we'll bump up quarry above charcoal for now and see where that gets us. Because it looks like, let's see how we're doing on charcoal. Wants access to charcoal. We just not producing a lot? Yep, okay. So it looks like we're actually just not producing enough charcoal, which is fine. I do want to probably build another well over here. I know that this one has a pretty good area of effect. Ooh, but it's not that much. So we'll put another well here in this corner, and then we can build our cottages here, and hopefully that will kind of give us a little more fire protection. That way we don't have to worry about it as much. Okay, and it looks like we do have enough stone finally to be able to build our cottage, and actually we can build a manor, which is really nice. Has 2 heads for bringing food and charcoal to the home. This one says demands charcoal. So if we do this, I'm assuming we're going to have to keep charcoal flowing, but it is for 25 people instead of just 12. And it'll increase our tax revenue, which sounds very exciting. That's a little large. Let's I don't want to intimidate the people living in the hovels across the street, you know? I think it's probably best that they have maybe kind of a nice little, you know, they don't feel so boxed in by this giant place that's across the street from them. I think the manor was 3x3, so maybe we can tuck that in here, and that way it's not so closed in. They'll just be across from the iron mine, but that should cover our housing needs, at least for a little while. I think this is probably a good place to leave it, to be honest. I really like this game so far. I definitely want to play more of it, so keep an eye out for that, and let me know in the comments if you want to see more of this. This is Kingdoms and Castles. It's a interesting, cute city builder, and I've had a lot of fun so far. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think, if you want to see more of this, all that good stuff. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, please consider subscribing. I do release at least one video a week, and you know, I'm just trying to make some fun management videos and see what kind of cool games are out there these days, since we're kind of in a golden age of management. So this was Games Over Explained, and thanks again for watching. We'll see you next week.